after well over a decade, Western New York and Pennsylvania C630M number 630 finally returns to Meadville.
You're all lined up east. You're real down, but got double checked. Everyone's in the clear. You need to bring your about 8 cars east to the stop. Cars east, everybody's in the clear. Zero down, triple check. Triple checked, all good. Here we go. Fires go, WNYT 435. Fires 35.
Am I good to stand here, or am I? Alrighty.
control.
Just like that, as I was about to get to the road to film at another angle, the 630 derailed again. At around 10:15 the following morning, we find the 630 in its final resting place, just about 20 feet from where it had derailed the day prior and 25 feet from the end of the rails that it now rests on. The Meadville Maintenance of Way crew got an early start on the day to ensure that the locomotive was re-railed and everything was in the clear for the ME1 switching crew to do their work at the post-consumer brand dog food plant here in town. By the time I had gotten to the depot, the crew was already working to restore the alignment of the main line, which they had severed and swung to the stub of track that the 630 is now displayed on. Fun fact about the display track: it is the only railed remains of the Bessemer and Lake Erie Valonia branch. The branch was about 1.5 miles long, and it ran between the BLE Freight House, today's Meadville Railroad Museum, to an industrial facility at the end of the line known as the American Viscose Facility, and later Avtex Fibers. When Avtex Fibers was done, the buildings became part of an industrial park, today known as the Crawford Business Park. There were a few other customers on the line, and I'm not sure exactly how many there were at its peak, as the information on this line is somewhat scarce, And even the stuff I did have bookmarked has since gone down. The website domain has disappeared. So, a little side note for anyone that's looking to do line statistics or historical facts, always take a screenshot of the stuff you find or jot it down on a piece of paper, because you never know when the domain might go down. So some of this is off of memory, and some of this is some more recent information that was sent to me by a friend. In the early 1930s, operations of the branch were taken over by the Erie Railroad by way of lease. I believe the exact year I had read was 1933. From then on out, the branch remained with the Erie Railroad and the Erie, Lackawanna, and Conrail until 1994, when Big Blue decided to sell the line to the business park at the end of it. From then on out, the business park handled its own switching operations using a GE 80-tonner switching locomotive. In '95, it became known as the Interpark Railroad. Not sure how long this operation actually lasted, as in the early 2000s, the WNYP was allegedly going to take over operations of the branch. Either way, things did not pan out, and sometime between '05 and '07, the branch line was formally abandoned. Then in 2011, it was ripped up, leaving the GE 80-tonner switching locomotive landlocked at the Avtex facility. This means that 630 is not the first locomotive to be a long-term tenant on the Valonia branch's rails. However, in 2016, the 80-tonner was shipped out via truck to the Valley Railroad in Connecticut. There is a video of that, so I will link that in the description of this video. So now, thinking back on this whole event, there are some things I wish I had done differently. I wish I did a better job with the execution of some of my shots on moving day. But honestly, I'm just stoked to have been there to document this thing, let alone see it for myself. You know, this is the first locomotive I can distinctly remember as a little kid. I saw it run through Sagertown on the freight main line at my grandmother's place. I'd stand on top of things just to catch a glimpse of it running over the trestles and stuff. So having this thing preserved in my hometown is very awesome to me. But as far as this event goes, what this really was getting to see the last 6-axled Alco, MLW, what have you, run across the WNYP system and lead its final consist, even if it wasn't technically under its own power. And you pair that with the fact that it's being preserved within Meadville yard limits, along with the ex-Erie 518 S2. Meadville will now be forever remembered as an Alco town for generations to come. So that's really neat in my opinion. And I really want to thank the people at the Meadville Railroad Depot who selected this locomotive for preservation. And thank you to the WNYP for donating this locomotive and helping with every step of the way that it took to get this thing here. This has been Keystone Rail Link. Thank you for watching, especially this far in through my blathering. Signing off. See you soon.